today we have part 3, the last part of my entire fragrance collection series for this year, 2022. And today we have a pretty big chunk of the alphabet to cover. We are going to talk about houses that I have fragrances from that begin with the letters M all the way through Z. So let's go ahead and get started. First up today is a fragrance from Maison de Darius. This one is called Notorietta. The owner and perfumer of this small indie house is named Zach Nineveh, and this is my favorite of all the fragrances, although he has some other really nice ones as well. But this is just a fantastic, like caramelly vanilla fragrance, and it has a little bit of oud to deepen it. Oh, it's good. A little ambery touch to it as well. It lasts freaking forever. I love this fragrance. So that one is Notorietta from Maison de Darius. All right, next up is one that I love to wear in the wintertime, especially around the holidays. This is Maison Margiela by the Fireplace, or Replica by the Fireplace. This one was created by Marie Salamagna, and I mentioned in my first video of this series that it reminds me of Lune Feline that she also created, or vice versa. This is definitely the more approachable version though. I mean, you probably smelled it, but if you haven't, it's like this like sort of a sweet, smoky, toasty, marshmallow, vanilla kind of fragrance. There is a little bit of cardamom in here as well, you know, like a woodiness because it's supposed to be by a fireplace. But overall, it's like a little bit more on the sweet side. And yeah, like kind of sweet, toasty vanilla marshmallows, but or even like a little bit of a roasted nut quality to it as well. But that's by the Fireplace from Maison Margiela Replica. Then we have a couple from Maison Violet. I think they might actually starting to be going just by Violet, but at least at first they were going by Maison Violet. So this one is one of my very favorite, if not my favorite iris fragrance. This is Nue Blue from Maison Violet. And this was created by Natalie Lorson, Iris Queen, one of a couple. But this is this like light, clean, fluffy, beautiful iris. So it's like iris musk. There's some bergamot in here, a little bit of like woodiness to it, but it's just so pretty and clean and just makes me feel angelic, because that's not at all how I actually am, but it makes me feel that way. And then we have this one here, Un Air d'Apogée. And this one is also created by Natalie Lorson, but it is a like it's a hay-like tobacco fragrance. So it's not a sweet tobacco. Oh, this is so unique and I love it. So hay, suede, the tobacco, there's a touch of sweetness to the tobacco, but not a lot. There's some sage in here, woodiness. It's fantastic. Big fan of Un Air d'Apogée. Like I said, to me at least, I haven't smelled a lot that reminds me exactly of it. There are a few fragrances that have some similarities, but this is fairly unique in my opinion, based on what I've sampled. So there's that. Then we have one from Merchant of Venice. This one is called Arabesque. And I'm not sure who created Arabesque, but this one is this like kind of tobacco-y kind of thing again, like cinnamon tobacco, plum, tonka, ginger. There's definitely ginger in here. But this smells a lot like Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. If you've smelled that before, this is pretty similar. And then one from Mix Bar, which is a super cheap brand at Target. But I like wearing this to bed, and I'm not going to complain. I think it was like $18.99. This one is called Cloud Musk, and it was created by Claude Deer. And I actually don't know that there's any musk in it, or at least listed in the notes. But it does have like a musk-like quality to it. It's like sort of, in addition to that, it's like you have tonka, like a woodiness to it. I would say there's cardamom in this as well, but it's just like this nice cozy type of musk. And I like to wear that to bed. You can see I did that. I did all of this. I just killed that bottle. But you know, when it's that cheap, you're just like all over me, right? And then you go to bed. Next up is a vintage bottle of Habanita Eau de Toilette from Molinard. And this was created by, is it Rory Bertrand? Or I don't know how you say this first name. But this one I mentioned when I talked about my other sexy ashtray fragrance. This is my new sexy ashtray fragrance. I have 2 now. This is different from that one. But this is like kind of, it's like sweet, oak mossy, but in the powdery. There's definitely like a powdery sort of accord to it. But there's still that like smoky green galbanum in here that is in Night Clubbing from Celine. They both have galbanum in it, and I feel like that's what's doing it. Yeah, this one has like vanilla, some florals, but this one just kind of smells like sweet cigarette butts in a way, like good, in a good way, with powder. So that's Habanita Eau de Toilette. I have never smelled the Eau de Parfum, so I can't tell you about that. Then we have one from Molton Brown. This one is called Milk Musk, and I have the Eau de Parfum version. This is Maya Lerno, or Lerno, something like that. But this one, it does have this milky accord, but it doesn't go sour like how some of the fragrances with lactones can do on my skin, so that's good. But it has like, obviously the musk. It's a cozy, warm, skin-like musk, not really animalic. There's some vanilla in here, tonka, maybe something a little bit resinous. And yeah, it just feels like warm, cozy, milky, salty skin in a way, if that makes sense. But I really love Milk Musk, the Eau de Parfum at least. I don't think I've tried the Eau de Toilette of it, but big fan of that. And now let's get into, let's see here. Oh, I skipped one. Maya Njie. Let's do this one. I should have done this a little bit ago. But Maya Njie Nordic Cedar is like one of my favorite outdoorsy kind of scents. It smells like a Nordic forest, right? It has like cedar, patchouli, cardamom, other kinds of woods. I just love it. Very light and refreshing. And now we'll do Mugler, formerly Terry Mugler. Some of these are actually under the label Terry Mugler, and some are just Mugler depending on when they came out. But first up, we have this one here. This is the Angel Ice Star. It's a summer flanker that came out, I think, last year. And this one is Louise Turner and Quentin Biche. And it's like pineapple coconut kind of thing. It's like a little bit like, still you get the praline and like the tiniest touch of patchouli in it, some vanilla, but it doesn't smell a ton like Angel, to be quite honest. It's definitely much more heavy on the like sort of pineapple-y coconut-y thing going on in here than it is on the traditional Angel DNA. So that's the Angel Ice Star. I do like it though, it's nice for summer. And then we have a couple Alien flankers. I'm not sure who created these, but the first one up is the Alien Liqueur de Parfum. And this one, you have like your jasmine and your woods like you normally would in Alien, but it also has a little bit of like a salty ambergris quality to it. I mean, there's amber, I guess, in Angel or Alien. God, I always do that. In Alien as well. But this one has this rum accord in it. So it's like a boozy Alien, and I don't know how you get much better than boozy Alien in terms of like an Alien flanker. So that one's the Alien Liqueur de Parfum. All right, and then the other older Alien flanker that I have is this one. It's the Alien Taste of Fragrance. And this one, again, it's basically like you take Alien and just change it up a bit. So this one, in addition to the jasmine, amber, cashmere, wood, whatever, they have a caramel note in here. And I think there's supposed to be a fudge note, but I don't really get that. To me, it's mostly just the caramel. And honestly, when I've tried this at first, I sprayed it on and I was like, I'm just a jasmine bomb all day, like I would be if I just wore Alien. But then I like worked out, and when I was working out, all of a sudden that like caramel accord just came to life, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, I see it. I see it now. I see the difference. So it's there, but it needs a little bit of body heat to really come out. So that is the Taste of Fragrance one. And then the last Mugler fragrance I have is one that was created by Jean-Christophe, oh gosh, what's the last name? Herault and Olivier Polsch. This is Over the Musk. One of my favorites, if not my favorite, from this Les Exceptions collection that Mugler did. I'm not even sure if these are still available. But this one is, obviously it's a musk fragrance, but it has like, I would say there's ambrette in here for sure, but it has like a woodiness and a pepperiness. Like there's something like a black pepper almost, kind of spicy in here. But I actually have this on right now. And it sits to the skin like, again, like a little bit like of a spice, but at the same time like this cozy, I don't know, sort of enveloping musk that's in here. Skin-like, like kind of a little bit salty. So that's the Over the Musk. Really like that one. Next up, we have one from Panah London, and this one is called Gomantic Orange. This, I don't know who created it, but it smells like, okay, I love this. So it's like orange zest with chocolate, right? Like those candies you get at Christmas time. Definitely some vanilla in here and like some other maybe like dried fruit kind of nuances to it as well, but that's a yummy fragrance. Then we have this one that just gets talked about nonstop. This is from Parfum de Marly, and it is Delina Exclusive, created by Quentin Biche. So this is that rose, lychee, vanilla thing, but this one still has the pear in it, but a touch of oud to like, I don't know, deepen it a little bit. I like it though. I mean, I know it's super hyped, but I still like this fragrance. So I do like Delina as well, but I prefer Delina Exclusive. All right, next up, the other Iris queen, Daniela Andrié. She does a lot of great Iris scents as well. And this one here from Prada is called Purple Rain, which I love the name because of Prince, of course. But this one, it does remind me a lot of Infusion to Iris, but this one I think is a little heavier on the vetiver, and also there's, I think, neroli in here, which there might be in the other one too, but it seems to stand out a little bit more in this one. So you have like the iris, the vetiver, some like neroli, citrusy kinds of things going on. Musk for sure, woodiness in this as well. But I would say like, if you are a man that feels uncomfortable wearing Infusion to Iris, but you kind of like the DNA of it, I would check out this one. I feel like the amped up vetiver in this makes it more towards like just straight up unisex, even though I think that Infusion to Iris is as well. But you know, you might want to try that instead. All right, then we have one from Puredistance. These are freaking expensive perfumes, but this one is called Puredistance White No. 6. It's an Antoine Lee creation. And this is another musk sort of fragrance. It's musk, like clean musk and rose with some like orris butter. There's like touches of like this powdery tonka in here and some woods. And I love this. This is a beautiful rose musk fragrance from Puredistance. I also have a travel size one of, I can't remember the number, but the black, and Antoine Lee did that too. And those are my two that I've tried, my two favorites that I've tried from Puredistance, but they have some really nice fragrances. They're good quality, they just cost a lot of money. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Ralph Lauren Woman Intense. So this one is a flanker of the Ralph Lauren Woman. Not sure who created this, but this is a tuberose and vanilla combo. Some black currant in here, sandalwood. I would say there's jasmine in this too. But I don't usually go for a lot of tuberose fragrances, but I really like this one. I don't know why. So I'm a big fan of, I mean, I like Ralph Lauren Woman too. I actually used to have that, but then I saw this at TJ Maxx one time and I picked it up, and after I like tried this one, I was like, oh, forget it, I want this one. Even though they're similar, but I like this even more than the regular Woman. So that's Ralph Lauren Woman Intense. Then we have one from Roja Parfums, or Raja Parfums. This one is called Elixir. God, what is it called? Essence de Parfum or something like that. And this one is created by Raja Dove, for sure. And I do like this. This is like an easy to wear kind of fragrance because it's like your kind of traditional sort of fruity floral woody that I feel like would have been very popular 10 to 15 years ago. But I like it currently, and it just came out that long ago. So it's like, I think raspberry rose, probably some other fruits and florals in here as well. I would say there's something woody in it, something a little musky as well, like a clean musk. But yeah, that's just a really easy to wear sort of fruity floral woody fragrance. And then we have one from Sense of Wood. This is amazing. It's called Plum and Cognac. And Plum and Cognac was created by Pascal Guerin. It won some awards. I don't remember what specifically, but definitely won some awards. And this is like this boozy plum fragrance. It's like plum with like other sort of like dried fruit nuances that you would get in some sort of like a dark liqueur, like, I don't know, maybe cognac or maybe rum or something like that. Cinnamon, vanilla, just, it's yummy. This is very good. So that one's called Plum and Cognac. And then this is such a unique fragrance. I really love this one. This is from Stora Skuggan, and it's called Mist Puffer. And Mist Puffer was created by Thomas Hempel, and it is an Immortelle fragrance. It has Immortelle, bergamot, I think fig leaf. It doesn't smell like fig fruit to me. I think it's like fig, like tree, fig leaf kind of thing going on. Something like piney. And I would say there's like something just a touch, not like sugary sweet, but something just a touch sweet in here. But it's just a really unique blend, and I really love this fragrance. There was another one from Stora Skuggan I wanted to get as well, but now I've forgotten the name of it. But if you haven't checked out this house, check it out. They have some good stuff. All right, Andy Tauer, let's do it. This one from Tauer Perfumes, or whatever it's called, is Une Rose de Kandahar, and this is one of my very favorite, hands down, rose fragrances. This, in addition to the rose, it's like salty ambergris, almond, tobacco. It's so good. Vanilla, musk. It's so good. It's unique. It has like a green touch to it, even though, I mean, I think perhaps it's somewhat influencing me based on the color of the liquid, but it does seem to have like a slight green rose vibe to it. But you do get a lot of like some of these other things like the almond and vanilla and tobacco in here. Love it. So that's Une Rose de Kandahar. And then the other one from Andy Tauer, from his Tauerville line, is called Vanilla Flash. And Vanilla Flash also has some of the same notes in it. So it's like vanilla, of course, but also a lot of rose and tobacco in here. But this one goes a little bit more like kind of cozy, wintry kind of vibe with the Vanilla Flash. There's definitely some spice in here too. I'm not exactly sure what, but I love, like this was love at first sniff when I tested that one. Amazing fragrance. All right, now let's do some Tom Fords. I have 5 of these, I think. First up, Eau de Soleil Blanc. Summertime staple for me. This one was created by Natalie Gracia Seto, I think. And it is another tuberose fragrance. It's like coconutty tuberose and like some citrus, but it's very light and watery. Really good for summertime. You know, smells lovely. Next up is Fougère d'Argent, and this one, of course, it has some like traditional fougère notes in it, like lavender, and it's, you know, got some woodiness and labdanum, but there's also like a bit of citrus, some ginger, tonka in here. It's a pretty yummy fragrance, and this was another one that was pretty much love at first sniff. Next, we have a very shiny bottle. Oh, and if I didn't say, so Fougère d'Argent is Linda Song and Olivier Guillotin, and then Lavender Extreme is just Olivier Guillotin, and this one is lavender and tonka primarily, but there's also like cinnamon in here. And I don't know, there's some other kind of floral in here, maybe rose. I'm not exactly sure, perhaps geranium. I don't know. Sometimes those are a little tricky for me to pick apart. Yeah, this is a fantastic lavender fragrance. I heard that it's being discontinued, but it's still on the website, so I don't think it is. Then we have Lost Cherry. Come at me, I don't care. I love this fragrance. So it's so good, and it makes my mouth water literally every time I smell it. Oh, I love it. So this is Louise Turner, and it's this almondy cherry liqueur kind of thing, again with some like tonka. I could smell this all day. Definitely vanilla in here too, but it's just, I love it. And some people hate it. Some people think it's, you know, complete trash, and I don't care. I love it. The other one I freaking love from Tom Ford is this one here. It is Noir Femme. This is discontinued. What a terrible move. This is created by Sonia Constant, and whoa, I almost dropped it. Let's not do that. This one has this Kulfi note, which is like this type of ice cream. It's got spices in it. Like, it kind of smells like there's pistachio would be in here too. But it's that, like vanilla. There's, I don't know, other kinds of yummy, delicious spices in there. Something woody as well, maybe some ginger. But this is sexy. This is deep and dark and sexy. And I've never had anybody complain when I've worn this. Like, everybody always says it smells good if I ask. Or I don't even have to ask. Sometimes I just get a compliment on it, which is nice. Not that I really care, but it's still nice. I like when people compliment me. All right, moving on. Van Cleef & Arpels. This is Bois Doré. So this is created by Fabrice Pellegrin, and it is a sort of tobacco kind of fragrance, like tonka vanilla tobacco. Freaking delicious. A little almondy nuance in here too, but that could be coming from the tonka. I love that. Great fall winter time fragrance. Then we have another discontinued one. Victor and Rolf Magic Dancing Roses. This is a great Sonia Constant creation. So this is like rose, cherry liqueur, lychee, that kind of thing. It's really good. It's really good, guys. But people try to sell these now for like stupid amounts of money. And I don't know. I'm not down with that, but whatever. Anyway. All right, let's move on to Xerjoff. We're getting there, guys. We have a few more houses. So, Xerjoff Bouquet Ideal, or Bouquet Ideal. This one was, who is this? Jacques Fleury, I think. So the name is misleading because you're going to think it's like, oh, you know, Ideal Bouquet. That's florals. No, it's not. This is a spice fragrance. So it's like cinnamon, nutmeg, woody. I think there is some rose in here. There's definitely some vanilla, but it's more like a spice fragrance than anything to me. Big fan of that one. This next one is beautiful. Like one of the most beautiful or pretty kinds of fragrances in my collection. This is Dabi Bianca from Xerjoff. I'm not sure who created this one, but this is like vanilla with kumquat, which is a unique combination. But there's some other florals and definitely some ambrette in here. A little bit woody, but this is like a great fragrance for spring and summertime, and it really is just absolutely beautiful, like so pretty. Light, airy, nice white vanilla, right? Like a lot of the vanillas I have are these dark, rich, boozy vanillas, but this is more of a light, icing, fluffy vanilla. Not super sweet, but that style, right? With the kumquat and the ambrette and whatnot. So that's really pretty. Then we have one of my other favorite iris fragrances. This one is Ibitira. This is an old bottle from Xerjoff. But Ibitira does have some similarities to Nue Blue. This, I think, again, was Jacques Fleury, and it is like iris with more like lemon here. It stands out quite a bit. Musk, for sure. Some woodiness, like cedar, I think. Probably touches of vetiver as well, but another really beautiful iris fragrance. And then the last one from Xerjoff is Lyra, which got a lot of hype a few years ago. But this one is really delicious. It's Chris Maurice, and this is like a caramel vanilla fragrance with blood orange is what's in here. But it does kind of go lemony on my skin, to be quite honest. Still smells delicious, like a caramel vanilla cake is what this smells like on me. So I'm a fan of that. Don't mind smelling like caramel vanilla cake. All right, and then second to last house, but I do have, I think, 5 here from this one. Yves Saint Laurent. We'll start with the new one, Baby Cat. Hate this name so much. Dominique Ropion. This is this dark, resinous, incensey, suedey kind of vanilla. And I'm a fan. Definitely a fan of this. I think there's saffron in here too, but it's nice. Then we have my basic perfume. This is Black Opium, what is it? Extreme? Yeah, Extreme. Black Opium Extreme is this one. And this is Natalie Lorson, Marie Salamagna, maybe some other people. I can't even remember who all did this one. But this one, I mean, it's like, it's Black Opium, right? Like, we've all smelled it. It's like coffee, cacao, vanilla, a little bit of patchouli, some florals. But this one, the coffee does stand out the most to me out of all the Black Opiums that I've tried, and so that's why I own this one and not the others. But sometimes that's just what I want to smell like. So again, come at me. Oh, this is probably my favorite of my YSLs. This is Sleek Suede. I tried this one because of Hillary at the Borough. Again, she let me sample her bottle once, and I loved it. This is Matilda Bijou, and this is suede, cocoa, oud, vanilla for sure. Crap tons of vanilla, a little bit of tobacco. It's sexy and yummy and deep and dark and suede-like, obviously. So a big fan of that. Then we have Tuxedo, which is probably the most hyped fragrance from this line, especially amongst the dudes of Fragcom. But I like it. It's a patchouli fragrance created by Juliette Cara. Oh God, I can't even. I don't know how to say her last name. Like Carajul. Nope, can't do it. And put it here. So this is patchouli and violet leaf. Again, there's some vanilla in here. I would say ambergris, something a little bit like slight saltiness to it, maybe some florals, but you know, predominantly like a patchouli kind of fragrance. It's really pretty. The patchouli vanilla, I would say, are the two things that stand out the most to me in that. And then the last one from Yves Saint Laurent is Velours. This is another vanilla from that collection that they have. But this one by Carlos Benaim is like vanilla with orris butter, something resinous again. Amber, definitely like, what is that? Like a, I don't know, some sort of like a pepperiness, like maybe pink pepper in here. But that's nice. I like that one. Very different though from Baby Cat. So they're totally different styles of vanillas. And then the very last fragrance for this whole collection thing, yay, is from Zara. So we're on the letter Z now, and this is Ebony Wood, created by Jo Malone. Very simple fragrance. It's just ebony, clove, and pink pepper. But this is like a very calming, meditative, woodsy scent to me. And so this is something when I feel like I just need to like calm the F down. I will spray this on and it's relaxing and I can just chill at home, maybe read a book, curl up on the couch, whatever. But it does have a calming effect to me and I'm a big fan of it. So that's the last fragrance in my collection. It's called Ebony Wood from Zara. Okay, we did it. So that's my collection as of October 2022. We'll see next year if it's bigger or smaller. The goal would be for it to be smaller. I think I'm at about 114 different bottles of fragrances right now, somewhere like 114, 115. But, you know, maybe by next year when I do this again, we'll be closer to 100. We'll see. It's kind of hard at this point because as you may have noticed, I freaking love many of these, if not most of them. So anyway, I hope you liked this series. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like it and subscribe and hit the notification bell and do all that cool stuff, right? Thanks. I hope you guys have a great week and I'll see you next time. Bye.